I don't know if you're a member. If you're not, we're having a membership drive this month. And if you join for $35, that's for a year. But then if you bring in 2 members as a new member, you're going to be treated just like a member that's been around. Hello, Jennifer. I'm explaining our membership drive. When you join for $35, every member, if they bring in 2 members, get 6 months added to their membership. So if you're not a member, we hope that you will join. And Elizabeth John is our membership chair, and she'll be glad to explain how you do this. Glad you're here, Elizabeth. Jennifer, can you and tell us
Yes,
a
I
little?
can hear you.
Can you
I
tell
can
us
hear you.
about you,
And I plan to join.
Wonderful. Okay, Jennifer. And how do you pronounce your last name?
Munjan.
Munjan. And you haven't been with us before. I don't recognize your name.
Yeah, I came at the end of the last meeting.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, and I shared a poem.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll go back and look. Well, I'm glad you came back. We're planning a lot of fun things. Do you have several poems you're going to be ready to read tonight?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. We have a few more people that it's 7:02. I'm going to give it 3 more minutes to give anyone else a chance to be on here. Jennifer, were you affected by the storm at all?
Yeah, Hurricane Helene, the first one, my power was knocked out, and I just lost some shingles and just some debris and stuff in front of my house. But other than that, I'm okay.
Wonderful.
Milton, I wasn't really affected.
You weren't. No, we weren't either. I thought we would be, I got all the sandbags at the front of the house and everything, but didn't need them. Okay. And what are you saying, Elizabeth?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything. I'm just sitting here.
Oh,
Hello
okay.
to everyone. I won't be able to stay too long because I'm behind at work. I was sick all week.
Right. Okay. It's 7:03. Elizabeth, since you're going to have to leave,
Okay.
would you please open tonight's? Now, remember, we were going to have a special, but we did not, and we do
Okay.
not. So just
No,
read
that's fine.
anything you would like to read. And what are you
Okay.
going to read, Elizabeth?
I'm gonna read a poem that is currently called "Dance in the Rain," which is the title I don't like. But this was based on a prompt. I've mentioned it before that I like to write with prompts, and we were supposed to write a poem entitled "Dance in the Rain." And initially, I was like, "Oh, come on, this is so cliche." But then I started thinking, and I had an idea. I figured out I knew where I had a sense of what people were looking for, and I said, no, let me do my own thing. So I never went back. I need to change the title, but this is called "Dance in the Rain."
All right.
It says, "We will let the other poets conquer the heavens with their odes of celestial passions as a testament of their love, and we will let the other artists paint the great tableaus with their cherubs of Cupid as the evidence of their devotion." And we will let the other vocalists sing the songs of their forever undying love as the proof of their affection. We will let them do it all because we need nothing so grand or fantastic. Not when the mere warmth of our desire evaporates the raindrops that touch our skin when we dance together in the rain.
Oh, I like the way that ends, where you talk about evaporating. Yes. That's very nice. Y'all, I forgot to do something.
That is so pretty.
I forgot. I'm going to go back and say, because what I forgot to say, that tonight is October the 18th, 2024.
The
This
17th.
is George.
17th.
At least I'm in the right year. And this is the Georgia Poetry Society's open mic, and we invite everybody to come every third Thursday and join us. We do want you to know that we are on YouTube, and if you have something that you're entering into a contest, please let us know not to post your poem if you read one that you're going to put in a contest, but we prefer that you do not do that. So now that I've corrected my big mistakes, I can say, Elizabeth, I don't care if you don't like the title Dancing in the Rain. I think it is fabulous. And I
Thank you.
like the way you said, do those last couple of words where you said about evaporating the rain.
I said, we will let them do it all because we need nothing so grand or fantastic. Not when the mere warmth of our desire evaporates the raindrops that touch our skin when we dance together in the rain.
I love that warmth of our desire.
Yes,
Beautiful. Isn't that
yes.
beautiful, Alice?
That was fabulous. I love the prose. I love the tone that you
Thank you.
read, Elizabeth. It was just fantastic. I really like it.
Thank you.
It has fashion, it has creativity, and it has a lot of spunk to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot,
I
there was
did.
2 parts to that prompt. I forgot because I feel like I'm just so busy at work, I forget that I even write these things. The prompt said to use Dance in the Rain as the title, and it had to be romantic. As I was reading, I was like,
Yes.
yeah, that was the other bit to that. So
And I caught that. I caught it.
yeah, thanks. I'm glad. But it was fun to
Mhm.
write. Once I had this idea, I was like, oh, I got this. I know what I'm gonna do now. So that's that one. It was short and sweet.
Very good. Is that La Rosa that's just joined us?
Yes, it is. I apologize for being late.
Oh, everyone's just coming on now. Kit, I'm so glad to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us again. We have 2 new people tonight. Jennifer joined us last month at the very end, and we're having a little trouble getting Bryant to.
Actually, I figured it out.
Oh, you're with us now.
Yeah. There's a
Okay.
little notice that said that you got to click OK to allow recording. And
Okay.
it basically wasn't letting me unmute until I said OK. So
Listen, I'm usually writing all that mess too. So, all right. Well, since you were here first, why don't you go next? Okay. What are you going to read for us? You know, we want short poems. So what do you have for us tonight?
well, I've actually got I do have a couple that are relatively short.
Okay.
It's actually I've been working on a sort of a 5-part poem, but the individual pieces are short, but I'm only going to read like 2 of them.
Okay, read one at a time, okay? When then
Yep.
we'll come back around to you on the next swing by.
All righty. In that
Okay.
case, I will go with, I think I read the first one last month, so I'm gonna read this one here. It's called Funhouse.
Funhouse, okay?
The found house of the Funhouse Futures moves at the slightest sound of approaching footsteps. Maybe a gaggle of children set it in motion. Maybe a gang of friends chose to play its secret base inside an abandoned house. What may have been a door grins, the corners touched by rough ages. It accepts the role, granting shelter from police drones and caroning neighbors. The trees leaning on the porch have allied with synthetic fibers, thanks be to the children, preserving only the purpose of a forgotten home. Come on in, the living resin whispers, singing with organic organ notes, showing life of a sort fills these walls. Little of the framework remains, having long become part of the story of the strange trees and the resurrected shelter and the evolving children. In the spaces between the gang's visits, the house is discovered many times. So many have come, meanderers, migrants, the mad and the marvelous. So many have followed the welcoming light or the promise of shade, and it keeps the stories told to it or within it. These grains sustain, reveal an ecosystem playing with traces of contraband tech, lifelike stuff that becomes undergrounded art, a place to bliss out when the lights go out in Broxton. This shelter, sliding into sentience, slips through the hothouse world with cool grace, moves with the patience of the unnatural trees, the melancholy of the resurrected frame, the love of the welcoming lights, the satisfaction of the cool air, the dottiness of the threadbare past, the groove of the funhouse future, the funk of the fleeting now. It asks only that you leave something behind, in the house of the funhouse futures. Take something with you from the house of the forgotten past. Keep everything working in the house of the fleeting now.
That is very interesting. I noticed that
Mm.
tree leaning and the promise of shade, how it moves with grace, and the groove of the fun house. And that was interesting when you said, leave something behind and take something. What were you
Mm.
hoping that they would leave behind? And what were you hoping they would take? Or have you thought about that?
Well, like I said, this is one of 5 poems that are part of the title for the entire piece is called 5 Futures for an Anthropocene House. And the idea is to focus around a house that is essentially condemned,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
to examine the different possible fates of this house, further into the future, like
Okay.
essentially near the end of the century. And in this particular one, the idea of the fun house is that it's essentially been kind of co-opted.
Right.
And the idea is people come and they go and they
They
leave
do it.
things behind.
They
And
do with it what they will.
right. They leave,
Yeah.
they do with it what they will. Take something, leave something,
Right.
Okay.
And your last sentence, read that last sentence again.
Keep everything working in the house of the fleeting now.
I love that.
With everything working.
Fleeting now, because it's always going to be worth something. It's always going to be something for someone. The fleeting now.
Yep. Plus the now is when you really think about it, it's a very hard to
It's
define
moving.
moment. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's always moving.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
constant. It's constant.
hmm
Absolutely. Yes.
And you read it very well
Very
also.
good. Yes.
Well, thanks. That's usually when I write something like this, I try to make sure that when I read it, it sounds right. If it doesn't
course.
sound right when I read it, then I know I've got to fix it.
No, it
It
flows
has
nicely.
it flows nicely with
Oh.
a strong dialogue.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes. Yes. Okay, Miss Alice, no, Jennifer, you're next.
Yes. Alice has to go last. Alice is driving.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
let
Okay, Jennifer, we're ready for you.
Oh, okay. I just want to say to Brian, I really enjoyed that. I loved your poetry. I mean, you make me think and I gotta pay attention and your use of words. I mean, you use the word, you said funk in one of the sentences.
Yep.
Am I correct?
hmm
I'm like, whoa, because that certain words stand out when you say it. So I'm like, okay, I gotta get this. I love your poetry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I don't know how I'm gonna follow that.
Oh, you can do it.
I like where he said the groove of the fun house too, besides the funk that you picked up on, Jennifer.
the
Okay,
glue. Yes, yes.
we're ready for you.
Okay, this is a poem that I wrote when I realized my child was grown. I mean, first you see them as a baby, and now you look at them and they're grown. Okay, the name of this is called A College Grad. Where did my baby go? Where did my baby go? Where can she be? Where did she go? What did she see? What does she know? Oh, my baby is grown. My baby is grown. Is it enough? Is she ready? Is she prepared for the storm? The storms of life are raging. Is a college degree enough? Did she learn about the ups and downs of life? Did she take a course in real life? Did she pass the finance course? Did she get a passing grade in relationships? Did she fail Money 101? I don't know. I must step back. I must step back. My time is past. My time is past. But I will be here in the storm, a gentle breeze till the morn, holding her, cradling her, ever so gently when she needs me.
That's good. I think everybody can
Very
relate to that.
Yeah, that
Yes,
is so
absolutely.
true.
I think everybody
Having
can
grown
relate to that.
children, that's pretty much you nailed it.
Thanks.
I like the way you discussed the cycle of life. What have
Mhm.
she learned? Is she prepared as a concerned parent would be? So wonderful, wonderfully written.
Thank you.
Jennifer, this is Kit, and I like the way that you linked earlier in the poem. Is she prepared for the storm? And then at the
Yes,
end, I will be here in the storm. So that was
that's
a
right.
nice bringing the, like I said, connecting that beginning and the end. That you're there in the storm.
Mhm.
That was really nice, very moving.
Thanks. Thank you.
Who's next?
I think Barbara, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, that's why she's not
Yes.
answering me. La Rosa, are you ready?
Uh, yes, I can go.
Okay, La Rosa is our new editor for the Georgia Poetry Society. Oh, and one more minute before Elizabeth goes. Excuse me, Elizabeth,
Yes.
would you please tell us about your new book? This is your
Oh,
second book. Tell everybody
Yes.
about it. Okay, we want to know about it.
the new book is called The Bones in the Garden. It's available
Mhm.
now. I've read one or two poems on open mic night from here, but it opened, but we were supposed to have a book launch party on the 5th, and with the hurricane, my deliveries did not come, so I had to cancel it. So we're
Right.
doing it Saturday. I'm gonna try it again and do this on Saturday. But yeah, so tell narrative poetry. So it's focused a lot on a large number of the poems are grounded in history, mostly Black history, but there's a few other topics I touch upon. And then of course I have my love poems and loss and longing and then just random stuff. Some of them are just stories and narratives. Before I leave, I could read another one from there.
Right, I want you, yeah, I want you to, and I'm sorry I didn't mention that when you were reading.
Fine.
But I want to get everybody out if they've got something new. Okay, La Rosa, I'm sorry to interrupt you, my darling. Are you ready now?
Yes, I
Okay.
am. This is a poem called Baby Girl. The first time I held you in my arms, I thought, gonna be wrapped in your charms. I took you everywhere with me, 'cause I loved you so deeply. Your first word was Dada, and I thought, that's my baby girl. I left you for the wrong reasons, but I still love you no matter the season. I'm absent, but I still long for you. I was foolish, threw you out like old shoes. I constantly wrestle with my choice, 'cause I never get to hear your voice. Your first report card was all A's. I'm proud of you. Set the world ablaze. People say you look just like me. I remember bouncing you on my knee. Time's passing quickly. I'm missing so much, but I'm loving you from afar, baby girl. You've gone away to college. You've worked hard and crossed a bridge. You just had a son, dropped out of school. I know it's tough, but you're no fool. Life is hard without financial support, but you've got this, even in court. 17 years I've been gone. Now I'm back. I took accountability. You took no slack. Your brother's tragedy made this possible. I was hurt, numb, and ready to crack skulls. You expressed yourself verbally and physically. I'm glad you got it out, baby girl. Juniors in pre-K as you work 2 jobs. Go on, my sweet baby girl. You're sick and diagnosed with MS. You're strong. Brave this, baby girl. You manage daily to take care of your family. You're a great mother and partner, baby girl. I walked you down the aisle today, and you'll always be my baby girl. Years have passed. I've watched you grow. I see your greatness, baby girl. I've failed you, and I apologize. I should have been there, baby girl. Maturity, intelligence, love, and courage. You didn't get those from me, baby girl. I know my faults and I have so many regrets. I'm glad you're better than me, baby girl. How you did and do it, I'll never know. You make my heart sing, baby girl. Your mother died a week ago, and you're all I have left, baby girl. You didn't hesitate to take care of me. I don't deserve you, baby girl. You clean my body and my bed. Thank you so much, baby girl. Caring for your family and yourself daily. I don't know how you do it, baby girl. I've learned from watching you. You're my rock, baby girl. I feel my life slipping away. I've always loved you, baby girl. End poem.
Wow. There was so much in that when you were taking the responsibility, something about the son. And it was cute when you said all these wonderful points that you were reminding her that you were so proud of her for. You said it was really cute. You said you didn't get them from you. How many times have we said that to our children? I don't know where you got that smarts from. You didn't get it from me. And you brought that out so cute in that poem.
Yeah,
Any
thank
other
you.
comments, friends?
That's my father and mother were separated for 17 years. He left when I was 5 and he came back, and I wrote this poem the year before he died in 2008 as an ode to him.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, we enjoyed that. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Do I fall in here someplace? Has everyone read Jennifer Elizabeth, Catherine Howard?
I don't think Kit read.
I haven't read. Okay.
I haven't either.
Okay.
I haven't.
I started to
I'm
put.
ready whenever
Okay,
you
Kit,
are.
Kit, I'm ready for you.
Elizabeth, have you read?
Yes, I have. Go ahead. Take your turn.
Yes.
All right. I just found out yesterday evening that this poem that I'm going to read was I had submitted to the Arizona State Poetry Society for their annual contest, and it won first honorable mention in the
Yay,
category.
congratulations.
Thank you. Category of previous.
You muted yourself.
Yeah, because I went to do the other one. Okay, previously published, and it was in The Reach of Song.
What year?
2011.
2011. I don't know if I've got that one or not. I got a lot of. What is the
Yay.
cover of the? I don't know if okay. I don't think I've got with that one. Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing this. And the name of it again?
My Father's Hands.
My Father's Hands.
Okay. Wisps of dark hair grow on my father's knuckles. His hands lift a pair of leather shoes and rub brush bristles coated with globs of black polish and circular movements over scuff marks. His fingers wrap around the neck of his guitar, press down on strings and frets. Chords march in unison like soldiers in his platoon as he croons on top of Old Smoky. His hands grip the shaft of his 9-iron, hips pivot, arms reach back above his shoulders. Full force, he whacks the small white golf ball along the fairway. His fingers dig deep into flesh, choking off the air supply flowing through my neck. Tomorrow, fingerprints remain, purple flower petals falling on white snow. His hands squeeze the hands of Easterites, churchgoers dressed in Sunday fineries, seated in dark wooden pews. Peace be with you, he murmurs. The end.
That's very
Finger
nice.
around the neck of the guitar, you could see that. But what was that part that you said sounded like he had his hands on your neck or someone's neck?
Yes,
with
ma'am.
the-
I
His
thought
fingers-
that's what you did there.
Fingers
Very,
dig deep
very
into
subtle.
flesh, choking off the air supply flowing through my neck. Tomorrow, fingerprints remain,
Right.
purple flower petals falling on white snow.
Mhm.
That's interesting how the purple bruises you put to the purple flowers. Am I following you correctly on that,
Yes,
Kit?
like petals, when you think of like your fingertips.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Is that Bambi? It is. Okay. Anybody else want to make a comment on Kit's beautiful rendition of My Father's Hands? There was some beauty in that, and there was some ugliness in that.
Yeah, some pain.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
That must be hard. It is. We don't have
It
to.
sound.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sounds like there was some therapeutic. There was a therapeutic message that was listed there. Is that true?
It was therapeutic writing it, and I've
Yes.
several others regarding
Yes.
the quote incident.
Yes. Clear. Clear. Very defined. Very confident. And very moving.
Yeah.
Thank
Mhm. And very visual. You could really see that.
Yes. Moving. Visually moving. It was a flow.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Very good.
That part about the hands around the neck and the bruising and I mean, did that beautifully. I really liked
Mhm.
it.
Thank
You
you.
got Bambi. She's just joined us, and a friend of mine, Cheryl, is going to just listen in tonight. So we're glad you're here. Bambi, we're glad you're here tonight. She had to change some meetings in order to be with us tonight. So I'm glad you're here. What short poem do you have? Oh, what I want you to know, for the ones that just came on, Kit, will you tell them about the poem that you read and the honors you were just given again for the ones that just came on?
Okay. I found out yesterday that a poem that I wrote and was published in the 2011 Reach of Song. It received first honorable mention from the Arizona State Poetry Society for their previously published poetry poems. So
Thank you for repeating that, Kit. Let me share something with you.
Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations.
yeah,
Oh, she's good. Listen, she's probably been a member longer than any of us here, Kit, because you go back a long time. Because I've read a lot of her poems in old Reach of Song books, and I like everything that Kit always writes. And what I want to say real quickly here before we go any further, that she mentioned that she won this in the Arizona poetry. One of the benefits that you get of joining the Georgia Poetry Society as you are an automatic member of the National Federation of Poetry Societies. And in January, we will get a new list from all the states. I think we have 38 states. Kit, if I don't say it right, please correct me, darling. 38 states, and you can enter their contest, and some win money, some win recognition, but it's a nice way to get to know other organizations that we, being members of the Georgia Poetry Society, are automatically members with the Federation. And so that's an extra bonus that you get. Okay, Bambi?
Barbara,
Yeah,
let
yes.
me just add, I am not a member at the moment of the Arizona State Poetry Society. I do belong to Georgia, and I joined the Florida one and the Minnesota one after the national convention this June. But you can enter contests for these other state poetry societies without being a member. Because again, I'm not a member of Arizona. You
Mhm.
pay, there's usually a fee, and the non-member fee typically is like $1 more. So it might have cost me $3 to submit that poem versus $2. But if you join some of these other poetry societies, what the Arizona vice president let me know is that they have other contests that are open to members only. And then they also have some Zoom classes, some other things. So you're not being disloyal to Georgia Poetry Society, but you're getting yourself out there,
More.
for other poetry societies. And sometimes, well, Florida, I know they have an open mic, and some of these other places do too. So you can participate in other things as well. So just
What-
to share that.
Kid, you've been here, I think, when we had that young gentleman from Wales that night that read so beautiful, and we've had people from New York. But before you join, you get a magazine called Strophes, and that will list all the contests that you can enter because you're a member of nationals. You just pay that extra advantage, like she was saying, $1 more or something. But you get to enter all these contests, so you'll get that in January. Okay, now, Bambi, if you would go ahead and read your poem. What's the title of your poem?
Is there any particular theme or anything tonight?
No, we don't do any homework.
Okay.
Asking.
All right. Well, I had picked out a couple. I was just gonna see if there was if y'all were going with any particular thing. This one is called Dear Child. It's
Oh.
from a collection that I'm working on with my son. There is no life outside of me. Am I being punished? Deserve divine retribution? Burned on this stake in my own holy crusade? I want to walk outside in the beautiful light, unafraid of the pain life brings. Not across the hot coals. Calm this knot that is twisting in my gut. Yes, calm the seas, but no. My middle son doesn't remember the good times, or so he says. He only remembers the days on end of me lying in bed, with life attacking and misery come to rest in my head. Me laid out with my demons, conjured as they are, always oddly consoling to me. And it breaks my heart with a unique, artfully drawn sadness, this aching knowledge of this fault in my motherhood, these missing pieces in his head. What I recall is reading bedtime stories and taking them to story time at the library, and kissing his skin knees in full technicolor, a sweet patchwork of mental images scattered through the savagery of deep melancholy that had swallowed me, chewed me up and spat me out. Oh, dear child, I have wronged you. Take my heart, why don't you? My soul, go ahead, it's owed you. For surely there is no life outside myself, but oh, how I have dreamed.
Wow.
That's
That
it.
was heavy. The aching fault in my heart, and then you said savage imagery. I mean, you're talking about emotional feelings in your head and how you feel you've shortchanged your husband, your child. You're recalling memories of reading him lovely things, and yet you're worried about how he recalling his childhood. That's
Yeah,
deep.
he doesn't seem to remember any of the good things that I remember. He only has memories of me being sick and wondering why I'm not playing with them. And when he told me that, it just like I really felt that. And anytime I'm emotional, it's going to be a poem. So, there's like one for every time that they've made me mad, anytime they've made me happy, there's a poem. So that's just
Right.
that I had picked out for tonight.
And okay, come on, Brian. See if you're going along with this too. We do remember the good things that we did that we hope they remember, and sometimes the slant on it is not the memory that we wish they had. How many of you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It's
Yes.
it's funny how memory works. It is it I wouldn't say capricious, but
What when it didn't?
Everybody kind of throughout life, it seems like throughout everybody's lives, you remember the things that have the most impact on you, and the things that you, as you go through life, you don't deem have as big of an impact, those don't get remembered, or they're just not as, there's just, it's harder to recall them, I guess. So that's, I like how you have that theme of memory and how you have one set and your child has another, and there is this commonality in there, but given your perspectives, I mean, each of you places something, a different emphasis, I guess. And I like how that plays out in the poem.
Yes, this is going to be an interesting book because she's a friend of that I've known for. She's from Atlanta, from Macon too. She and I are the only two Macon poets that I have gotten into the organization. But I think that resonates with all of us. I think if we look back on our own childhood, and then if we look at our child's life through their eyes, it's very interesting. We could all write a lot on that, I think. Well, I think it's my turn, and I'm not writing about children, but this one is called,
We forgot about Alice.
oh, Alice, you haven't read yet. Darling, I am so sorry. Alice is our
Secretary.
secretary. Do you see how Elizabeth and Kit have to keep me straight, you guys?
Well, okay. Well, good evening again, everyone. I am safely at home. I had a conflicting meeting tonight, but that's okay. I'm glad to be here. Tonight, I'm going to read from my book. It's called A Dove in the Golden Light. And mercy has been on my heart all day, and specifically going through the Helene hurricane, knowing that it was a serious matter, that so many people lost their lives. And 3 of my colleagues they're having to purchase new homes due to those trees. But mercy, have mercy on me, dear Lord. I thank you for spreading your mercies, compassion, and having pity on me. You, Lord, have protected me from harm that were seen and unseen. I am crying tears of joy because I know within my heart that your mercies will endure forever. Your understanding, your benevolence secure my heart. My blessings overflow. Kindness and God-seen angels encamp my environment. Kindness and God send angels encamp my environment. I am depending on you. Thank you, Lord, for your continued mercy and grace. Golden light, be merciful to me, for I cry to you all day long, which is in Psalms 86. Thank you.
That's beautiful. And
Thank
it's
you.
so relevant when in light of the disaster and everything, if you're able to walk out with your life, you've got to be thankful. That's a
Yes.
mercy right there. I mean, it's
Yes.
hard. I can't even imagine what people are going through, but it's still a mercy.
Yes.
It is. Absolutely.
And most of the people that I've checked on on our board and around, I've gotten good news and not any bad news. So that's very good.
And
Okay.
And
Right.
Kit is in Western North Carolina. I am
Yes.
I am 15 minutes from downtown Asheville.
Gee.
No way.
And if you've seen anything on the news about a mudslide that happened in Fairview,
Yes.
in an area called Craigtown, that's less than, I don't know, it's 5 to 7 minutes away from where I live. And I'm in Fairview. And there was one young man who lost 11 members of his family. So it's
Heartbreaking.
That's terrible.
it's unbelievable.
It is.
I had been in Kentucky, and then I went to Athens, Georgia to stay with my daughter. My husband was here. Our house is fine. And then I came home this past Saturday. Today was the first day that I went out. I just needed to be here. But roads that I was driving on, you could see big trees that had been sawed off, but the rest of them still, if this is the road, they're like here
Right.
when you're
Mhm.
here. I've never been in a war zone, but I can just imagine because of the destruction that this did. And I've not even been anywhere near the River Arts District, just flooded. The animal rescue where we got our dog from, 10 feet of water in there.
Wow.
Fortunately, they got foster homes for 137 animals before the storm, but it's truly devastating.
Mhm.
The asphalt from roads just buckled up,
Yeah.
Mhm.
windows blown out, the local cloth, which is kind of the River Arts District. It's a fiber art place. The windows were blown out of their front, the front of the store, and their front door was ripped off. So the volume of water and force of it it's unbelievable. So
Mhm.
everybody here still in your thoughts and prayers, because there are people
Really?
further north up in Burnsville, for example, and Spruce Pine. A lot of them, they don't have power yet, and it's cold. It is cold.
Yeah.
I mean,
We were discussing that last night, that several of the people at the table that I was at, they still don't have power. It's really traumatic. It has been very traumatic for my family and my neighbor across the street. 3 trees hit their home, and one of their trees hit the next door neighbor's home and damaged both of their cars. So many of my coworkers, I'm telling you, can you imagine a storm come through and you are homeless just like that?
No, it's hard to.
Homeless
Alice, where
We
do you
ran,
live?
yeah, we ran
in
into,
Augusta, in Augusta.
Oh my gosh.
And one of my managers, both of his cars were destroyed. I mean, just think overnight, you're having to buy new cars, new home.
That's a lot. That is a
That's
lot.
a lot.
I ran into a friend of mine, he's a potter, and they had, 60 people in it's Asheville, right? At the
Yeah.
top of the mountains. And, they got hit hard, and they had writers from New York. They had writers and potters and painters. And she said they did not know how bad it was down below, and they're so glad they didn't. They had to come
Mhm.
and get helicopters to take all of their art students that had signed up for this week course and take them group by group off of the mountain. And they had to leave
Mhm.
their cars and everything that they brought for the week. They don't know when they're going to get their cars. They don't know how they're going to get back up there to get their cars, because they couldn't come down the road, so they certainly can't go up the roads to get them. So that's interesting. Welcome. Hello, Jennifer.
Okay.
Jennifer,
That's
hear me?
amazing.
Hi. I just want to
Hello.
say, my heart goes out to everyone in North Carolina. It's just heartbreaking. It's just unbelievable. And I live in Brunswick, Georgia, and 2 of my neighbors, half of their roof is off. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just unbelievable, the
Yeah.
damage that Helene did. I mean,
You
it's
know,
just
we
no
were,
words.
yeah, we were supposed to get a direct hit, and for some reason we didn't. But our hearts go out to all those, and we just pray that they have a good support system, that their religious organizations who come and back them up and everything.
Well, FEMA has been doing just an incredible job here. They've brought in power companies, the power crew that worked on ours, 3 guys from different cities in New York, and a 70-year-old guy from New Brunswick, Canada. So, I mean, they are here from all over, all kinds of charity groups working with us, churches. Yeah. And our state governor, he's just been fantastic. So, yeah.
People pull together. Don't you find that, Kit, in times like this? They just come together like they don't usually come together.
Well, I've said, for the most part, it doesn't matter what political sign is in your yard, who you're voting for. It doesn't matter what color you are, what language you speak, how old you are or young you are, who you love. It doesn't matter. People are helping one another. And that's how you survive.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
good. LaRosa, you gotta
Mm.
go.
Yes, I do. I have to do a literacy session with the young man, and he gets testy when he doesn't have his session. So
Okay.
I have to
Are you
go
gonna
get ready for that.
Are you gonna be in
Um,
Atlanta tomorrow, or will you be back home?
I will be back home probably Sunday.
Okay, I'll try to talk to you before you get back home. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is the editor of our society, LaRosa Thomas. And
Thank you, LaRosa.
she can help you
You're welcome.
publish your book. She's a publisher. She has a program called Purely Positive. Real quick, can you tell them about Purely Positive and how they can get on your program and you can help promote them?
I would rather tell them about South Carolina Gets Lit, because that is the show that supports my literacy program, and that is the show where I interview authors. So I decided that for Georgia Poetry Society members, that I would offer them a chance to be on that show at a greatly reduced cost of only $25. It's normally $250. And I want to do it before April, of course, before Poetry Month,
Right.
because I want to be able to feature those interviews during that month. And in addition to that, I'm getting new global distribution, which will start in January. So you all can get my contact information. I'm on Facebook under LJ Thomas, and contact me and let me know if you're interested, and we can go from there, because I enjoy all of you guys' work. You're great poets.
Count me in. Count me in. A dove in the golden light. Alice Johnson.
Yeah, she's gonna get all of our board members and all of our open mic people, she wants to know about. And I'm hoping that the poems that we have been reading on our open mic can be put into a chat book. LaRosa's
Yeah.
gonna do a lot of fun things, y'all. She's, just feed her ideas and she'll work with us. You're going to be very glad that she's in your life and that she's a member of our society. Have a safe trip home, LaRosa. Okay, darling. I'll check in with you.
Well, I'll see you all.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
LJ, I
Thank
just
you
want to
very much.
say, baby girl is still, I'm still hearing it in my head. Baby girl, baby girl. I
Baby
love that.
girl.
I was speechless after you did it.
Mm-hmm.
It just had me like, oh my God, I can understand what she's going through. So I'm
Yeah.
hearing
Wow.
baby girl,
Absolutely.
baby girl. I
We
love it.
all
Thank you.
can.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good.
Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you guys, okay?
Okay. Love you, darling. Bye-bye.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna look for you on Facebook. Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
now I'm going to read a thing called, it was Child Wondered Why. It was me wondering why. My nose starts to sting before my eyes cry. It happens each time, Mama, tell me why. Reading a sad book or movie I see. Was this true for you, the way it happens to me? Men with tender hearts, they're not afraid to cry. Shows they have empathy, can care like you and I. Crying is special. We don't do it each day. It's our heart speaking, words we cannot say. Tears from broken heart, pray God will repair. Lost loved one or pet, who's no longer there. Way God designed us as a child wondered why. Happy and sad tears, we're able to cry. The end.
I like
But did
that.
your nose ever start to sting before
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
cry?
Mm-hmm. It's
That
like
happened.
you're Yeah, it's kind of like it's sort of like the emotion kind of just hits there first. 'Cause it's like it's making its way to your tear ducts.
Yeah, it stings, and then I know, uh-oh, get ready. Yeah,
Mhm.
it happens each time. So Mama, tell me why. So now Mama didn't have to tell me why, Bryant. Why? Thank you, Bryant.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are starting over again. And Elizabeth had to, go ahead, Kit. You're muted, Kit.
yeah.
You're muted.
I liked your crying is special and it's our hearts speaking.
Mhm.
That was a different way of looking and expressing about crying,
Right.
our hearts speaking.
Thank you very much.
Can
And
certainly relate. Very good. I enjoyed that poem.
And
Thank
the
you.
ending, the happy and sad tears, you know, the happiness
Yes.
and the sadness coming together at the end. It's just touching.
Bittersweet. Sort of
Yeah.
like bittersweet with mixed emotions. Very
Right.
good.
Right. And I wrote that June the 20th of 2004. And that will be one of the poems that I think I'm putting in my book if I ever get it finished, you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Don't
You
you
got to
go
get
there,
it
Alice.
finished.
Don't you go there, Alice. And if Cheryl could say something, I'm sure I would hear from her too on that. I've only been
That's right.
working on it a couple of years, you guys. Okay, now
You're
we
gonna
have,
do it.
let's see, it's not Elizabeth John. Bryant, you're gonna head us off on our second go around.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, I'm gonna stick with the set of poems I've done about the Anthropocene house. This is actually the last poem in this uh this series.
okay.
It's called Exhibit Zero.
Exhibit 0.
Lift up this house, wondering makers. Lift this house out of a frog boil apocalypse into an apropos calypso. We've lost enough time. Pick up your tools, beautiful builders. Uplift this house with sensate sensors. Let it smell the dirty feet of children running through biohacked moss carpets. Let it taste the sweat of your friends growing a skin for new rooms from fungal roots. Let it touch the tired souls of pilgrims to this not doing too bad house. Touch their tired souls and grow them shoes fit for working or whirling in time out of a frog boil apocalypse into an apropos calypso. Let it see the houses budding off from it, hell bent on hauling hope into this weird, weary world. Let it hear you sing in time to the whistling of robot bees. Lift up this house, wondering makers. Lift up this house, children, friends, pilgrims, beautiful builders, out of a frog boil apocalypse into an apropos calypso.
I like twice that you use that. I
Mm.
just wrote it down. Apropos calypso, you repeated that twice, and that's very, it kind of flowed. It was very nice. I like that.
Well, I
Mm.
got the idea because as I was, a lot of the poems I try to write, they are science fiction based, but I try to aim towards not necessarily definitely not a utopia, but a resilient future where we face problems and we fix them
Right.
and deal with the consequences of the problem and fixing the problem. And as I was thinking about the idea of apocalypse, part of me noticed that, hey, you know, you can put the word calypso in apocalypse.
Mhm.
So I basically tried to find a way to juxtapose the idea of apocalypse with a calypso.
Yes.
Mm.
And I like the resilience, like that you said. And I remember you saying before that you did a lot of science fiction writing, but I don't find this falls into that category. I think we're feeling what you're feeling for that house, because it must have meant something to somebody long ago that you're trying to hold on to. Or I know what you're saying. I can't say it as beautifully as you say it.
I like the way he transitioned from old to new, going back and forth. He did it in a systematic way, strategically. Very good.
Well, thanks.
Yes, very good.
Brian, you did a real nice job of the alliteration, working, whirling, calling hope. And then some of your, I don't know if they're images, exactly what, but the robot bees really got things that gets the listener reader thinking. Tired souls, the biohacked moss carpets. And Barbara had mentioned the repetition of, I think it was the Calypso line.
Mhm.
I wrote down the frog boil apocalypse because I was trying to think of the expression about the boiling the frog or something.
Yep.
Yeah, so that worked really, really well.
Thanks. Well,
Okay,
that's kind of why the main title again of the entire set is, 5 futures for an Anthropocene house. And I'm using the idea of the Anthropocene deliberately because these poems take place well past our current era of climate change. And the idea is of exploring what happens to this place that has already been damaged by the result of our changing climate. And this last one, Exhibit 0, is kind of like the attempt it's sort of like the call to action as opposed to all the other ones that are kind of like setting up scenarios for here's what this house could be. Here's what else this house could be. Whereas this one is just saying, pick up your tools, do something with this.
stop talking and now get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that. It was a really good write.
Thank you.
Men always have the most interesting perspective on poetry to me.
What was that, Bambi?
I said men always have the most interesting perspective on poetry to me. The difference in how a man and a woman write poetry in the different groups that I'm in online is always really interesting to me.
Right, and
Yeah.
we used to have more men. Brian, you're a very brave soul to keep coming on us, and we love you very much for coming back.
Well,
You-
y'all are very brave for putting up with me, putting up, like almost hard science fiction, science
Yeah.
concepts here in the form of poetry.
If it comes back around to me to read again, I have one that I submitted to a science fiction magazine, but I wasn't quite sure if it qualified as science fiction. So maybe I could read that one and you could let me know if you think it's science fiction enough.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna roll back around to you next. I think Jennifer, you're next. Can you come next, darling?
Yeah, I can come next. Okay. But Brian, I just want to say, I always enjoy your work. It's like you take me to a different place and make me think about something I would have never thought about. Thank you. And I
Yeah.
love the alliteration that Kit mentioned as well. I was listening for that.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yes. Jennifer,
Um,
what's the name of your poem?
The name of this poem is called Family Reunion.
Okay.
Good. So good. Crab boil, red potatoes, jumbo shrimp, corn on the cob, savory sausages, chicken on the grill, children eating hot dogs, mustard stains on their clothes and grins on their faces. Marsh side, water everywhere, water here and there. Family reunions, cousin Johnny on the dance floor doing the wobble or the Cupid shuffle. Cousin Jimmy throwing down with the dominoes, Auntie Sue sipping wine in the corner. Right on time, music on the speaker, Frankie Beverly singing Before I Let Go. Once a year, from here or there, we remind ourselves that we belong to a tribe called family. Love in the air, love everywhere. Love in the air, love everywhere.
I
Nice.
think I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
It brings back
Yeah.
memories.
Yes.
And the mustard on the clothes when we do get to eat.
Yep.
Now,
Yes.
I cannot comment on poetry the way that Kit can, but was that not a refrain, Kit, that she had put in there when she kept saying something over and over? Isn't that part of what a refrain, what we talked about last month, was all about? Do you know what I'm talking about, Jennifer? Those things that you, it wasn't alliteration.
Yeah, it was a refrain at the end. The love, love in the air, love everywhere, that part.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
other things to it too, because we were supposed to write this month and we didn't get it out correctly. It was posted incorrectly. A poem using a refrain so it could be used like a song or something. But
okay.
I got to get smart like Kit because she can give us a good poetic. Well, I just love her comments, and I love yours too, Jennifer. You're right on there too. I talk more about the effect and the emotion, but they add the educational aspect of their knowledge in their critiques. And I like the mixture that we get from everybody. Pat yourself on the back, Kit. You know how much I
Thank, I will say thank you, but you're giving me more credit than I feel I deserve. I'm not sure if it's, I don't know if that's a refrain. I'm not real sure. When I think of refrains, I think of something in a song.
Right.
But that the repetition of that, it's like what Bryant had done in Exhibit 0 with the repetition, and that was very effective at the end of yours, Jennifer. And I like that we belong to a tribe called family.
Yes.
I think,
Yeah.
you know, most people would be expecting we belong to a tribe called, your last name pronounced Mungan?
Munjan.
Munjan.
Mhm.
But we belong to a tribe called family. That's a very strong tribe. And what I did notice is the beginning of first parts of your poems, your poem were lists. And I've been taking a Zoom writing class with a teacher who's in Orlando, Florida. And one of the things she'll have us do is she gives 2 prompts, and sometimes the prompt is make a list. This could be foods that you might eat at a family reunion, you know, and then all these different things. And your lists worked beautifully because each list moved the poem along. So that was really great and very effective.
I liked a lot of the musical imagery that you have going on in there.
Mhm.
You know, like either playing music directly or people dancing to it. And I felt like the repeated part in the end, it felt like it was making reference to a song. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, no. And actually, when you were saying a tribe called Family, in my head I was putting in a Tribe Called Quest.
Exactly.
just,
Exactly.
just because I was just running with the musical imagery. So yeah,
Mhm.
that I love the consistency and the strength of that imagery.
And what did you say about water? What is
Well,
that
I
part?
live in Brunswick, Georgia, and it's
Yes.
right. I live right by the marsh, so when I see
Yes.
water, it's water everywhere. I live like on an
Mm.
island, so yeah,
Okay.
we're
Right.
surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very relative. I could relate to the music, the food, the environment, what to expect at a family reunion. Very good.
And
Very.
you did make us hungry.
She
Okay.
made us hungry. She made me want to go in the kitchen now.
Well, okay.
Very
LaRosa
good.
is not here, so Kit, can you come back and read us another poem? She may have gone. It's 8 o'clock. Does everybody want to take a short break and go get something to drink? I think I want to put some ice in my hot Coca-Cola. Y'all want to take or I can just get mine real quick. Y'all need a break or don't need a break? Don't need a break. Oh,
I could take a 5-minute break.
okay,
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. Cheryl, can you unmute for just a minute and say hello to me?
Yeah, hey.
Are you having fun tonight?
Yeah, it's nice. I enjoy listening to the poems.
Yeah, Kit has been with me a long, long time, and she's also an artist. I wish you'd get on our board, but she's already too busy. But
Mhm.
she gives very professional critiques.
Yeah.
I wish I had that kind of knowledge about alliteration and this and this. I just don't. Bryant, what about you?
What in terms of my I've one of the things I'm learning by attending more and more of these virtual readings is how to better listen and give critique. Because I've always felt like one big problem that I've had was being able to properly give critique. Because I mean, a lot of times, especially uh in open mic settings, I mean, I have this habit of just kind of focusing in on like, okay, I gotta get ready to read this, to make sure I kind of know what I'm gonna do here, and I wind up spending so much time doing that it gets hard to listen to everyone else. And so by doing this more and more often, I'm actually getting more and more used to really listening and finding something to say. I mean, again, the things that I often look for when I'm listening are like either rhythm or interesting imagery, things like that. So that's, again, this is good practice for me, not just for reading, but also for listening.
Right. It had been suggested, and we wish that we could, Elizabeth John, our membership chair, if we could divide the screen in half and we could see your poem,
Mm-hmm.
that like I hear with my eyes.
Right.
I have to see things to really hold on to the image of what I'm hearing. And so I wish I could follow you reading the words. Maybe we'll have a lesson on how to do that. So in January of 25, we could do it, because that's what we would like to do. And you know too that we were trying to get a new form of writing. You were aware of that, right, Bryant?
I think so.
Yeah,
What was it again?
okay, as a matter of fact, I have to look for which one I want us to do. That the first poem we read, I give you homework to try a new style of poetry that you've never tried before.
Ah, okay.
And I saw one in this book, and I want to see if I can find it. One is the IMAGISM, but that's not the one I want. It's the one where you start off with the triangle, and the top is the largest part is an inverted triangle, and it's wide at the top. And since November is the
Those
end
are
of,
fun.
what is it called?
I said those are fun. I don't remember what they're called, but I've done one of those. Those are fun.
Yeah, you have so many, each stanza or each line has less words, and it will be put on our November open mic. I'll put the name of it and try to give you some instruction on how to write one. This is a poetry book that I bought, Emotional Entanglement, from an artist, poet in Canada. I've won some of his poems, and when I placed in one of his poems, he sent me this book, and he has in the back of it all the different forms of poetry. And I thought that was very nice of him to try to educate other poets that way. Like, for example, here's one of his funny poems. Let's see. Can you see it? Yeah. Wait a minute. See the curve?
Yeah. It's like I don't know if it's a shape poem or.
It's it's called the YALTO poem.
Okay.
But he has, maybe we'll just start picking some out of his book. And I asked him, could he come on, but he didn't know if he could get on from Canada or not. We got on from Wales. I just don't know why we couldn't, but I'll have to pick out a poem for that. Is everybody back now for my 5-minute break?
I'm back.
Okay. Bambi, you back?
I'm back. Yeah. Can I ask you a question real quick, Barbara?
Sure.
Wasn't there supposed to be a compilation of poetry, like an e-version of that available from this past year? Is that
You're
available
talking
yet?
about a journal that you sent your poem in for?
Right. Is that available
Yeah.
anywhere yet?
Okay. That is available as an e-book. You can contact Marion Owens, and he will show you how to get there. The lady that was on tonight, La Rosa,
Uh-huh.
she is going to get an IBM number, and she is going to make it a paperback copy.
Okay. Could you text me the information for the person I need to contact for the ebook?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Barbara.
If I don't, call me and remind me.
Okay.
Yeah, we had it, I don't know if you have to pay for it now or not. I'm not quite sure.
I kept
Uh,
looking on the website. I thought maybe it would be in the bookstore, but it wasn't.
Okay, tell me this.
Yeah.
Did you ever get the information that we are having a membership drive?
Yes, you told me on the phone.
But have you seen it?
I did not look for it, but I did post something about it on my Threads page.
Okay. Bryant, have you heard of our membership drive?
I think you mentioned it to me last month.
Are you a member already?
I think I'm a member of the group. I'm checking to see whether I need to renew my membership.
Okay.
When do we renew memberships?
When do you what?
When do we renew our membership?
Okay. I was supposed to have a meeting this week with Marion Owens. We had Member Planet as our way of trying to connect with other people.
Mm-hmm.
I am not computer savvy, you all know that. So I had him research another format. He likes one, we're gonna talk about it, and it will have all your information. If you want to get hold of Bryant, it would have Bryant's information. He could get hold of us and ask a. I want us to be more of a community. Are y'all willing to be more of a community and connect with each other and share things with each other? That's what I'm really wanting. Kit was talking about joining other groups. That's good too. But we have got to make our group stronger. And anybody that will step up and take any positions on the board, Jennifer, Bryant, are you listening?
Yep, listening.
We need you.
Yes.
We need you. We need you.
Yes, we do.
We really do. We have positions open, a vice president's position open. We only have about 4 people on the board. We can't even do contests right now because since COVID, and this is not just the Georgia Poetry Society. Those 38 societies that I met in June were all trying to bring poetry to the fore. I've already gone and made an appointment, and everybody listening, I would like to suggest maybe you do this too. I'm going to speak at one of our branch libraries in January and let the people there know that April is National Poetry Month. And we need to get on board and start doing something. Send your ideas into me, send them to Alice Johnson, she's our secretary. I wanted to call Catherine Kit this week, and I couldn't find her number anywhere. I am so embarrassed I couldn't get hold of her. I know I had emails from her. I went back trying to look them. I did not call Marion. I got a recording and couldn't get through to him to check on Kit. But we already need to be thinking whatever city you're in, go to your library and try to get some, like high school students or younger
Right.
people involved, and more nationalities and ethnic groups. I want us to be more globally oriented, a good diversity, a strong diversity. And this is supposed to be during my being president, the years of the members, giving back and celebrating the members. And one of the things that surprised me so much, we had an editorial committee because I thought we're going to get bombarded with poems, because I offered all members the chance where usually you have to win a contest to be in it, or you will submit and maybe your poems will be in it. But I wanted the whole reach of song for 2024 to be of our members' poems. So I said, okay, members send in 3 poems. We'll select 1. And if we need more, we may select 2. So I thought, oh, 100 or so members are going to be sending in 3 poems. We're going to get 300 or more poems in. We did not. Kit got hers in, Bambi got hers in, Alice got hers in, I got mine in, our board got theirs in. But Bryant, don't you want your poems to be in our Reach of Song book? Jennifer, don't you think that would be a privilege to have your poems in the Georgia Poetry Society's Reach of Song
Yes,
anthology?
yes,
Of
Yeah,
course.
well, definitely.
yes, of course.
Hey, stay with me. Get those poems ready, because La Rosa
It's
is going to
working.
be working. I would like for it to come out in sometime in the spring of 25, before National Poetry Month, our 2024 anthology. So stay posted when we have our quarterly meetings. Please attend them, because that's the one place we let all the members know what's happening and what our plans are. I would like for there to be a way beside the quarterly meetings that we could just have a what's going on in, our
Yes.
society, and have y'all all, would y'all come to a meeting if I had a what's going on meeting? Just to bring all the members up to date. What about you, Jennifer, Bryant?
Yes, I would. I
I
would
would.
definitely
Nicole,
attend.
I would come.
Nicole, thank you. Would y'all attend?
Of course.
I would.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
Yep.
I think we're gonna see, okay, Alice, that's something we can bring up at our next board meeting.
And
That
of
we will,
course,
what's
we're
going,
planning something as early as the end of November here in Augusta. So I'm working with a group of, well, I share with them after I return from Panama, which I returned this week. So next week, that's my agenda to schedule. And I'll be happy to share. And I would love for each one of you, if you could make it to Augusta to this event, that would be great.
okay. Let's welcome Nicole. Is Nicole, whoops, I just lost it. Nicole Sharon Brown, is that correct?
Hi,
Hi, unmute. We're so glad you're with us tonight. Where are you from, Nicole?
I'm from Monroe, Louisiana.
Wonderful.
Welcome.
How did you hear about us?
On Facebook.
Good.
Yes.
Well, welcome. Do you have some poems you're going to share? We like short poems, and we do a round robin.
Okay.
And we were just going to start over again. Are you ready to read one now? Kit, are you back? We took a 5-minute break. Kit may be taking a 10-minute one.
I've
No,
been
here she is. There she is.
here. I can tell you what you've been talking about. Okay. All right.
Good, you are. We got a new person with us, Nicole. And what are you going to read for us tonight? And when you finish, we say, I keep wanting to say amen, but it's, what do we say?
Yeah.
The end, the end.
The end.
Yeah, because sometimes I interrupted a poet once because she paused. Well, I interrupted you, Alice.
I know. I know.
She
And there
paused
comes a
because,
time when I need to pause. Okay.
right. She's very dramatic, but it could have been the end, and I thought it was. So now we say the end. Okay, Nicole,
Mhm.
what are you going to read for us tonight, Nicole?
Well, I was trying to get my headphones together because my son is playing his game so loudly, and I didn't want to have any background noise, but I'm having trouble with my headphones.
Okay,
I'm a teacher by trade, and I'm wanted to say this piece that I know by heart called "We're Going to College."
okay. Now, do you need, let me say this. If you need a few more minutes to get your headphones, we
Yeah,
can go.
let me get my headphones together.
Okay, let's let another poet read and then we'll come to you next, okay? That'll give you a few minutes. Will that work?
Okay.
Barbara, I
Yes,
have a question. Is there a budget for these events that we're hosting? Because I was wondering, like, if we had pastries or different hors d'oeuvres.
different nights, no,
I know
no.
we can talk about that later, but I was
Quarterly meetings, no.
no. I'm speaking of like the events in different cities.
That's up to the individual that holds them there.
Okay.
You know, like, I'm hoping, I don't know. I've been a member of the Middle Georgia Art Association since the 1970s. And I don't know, but I am thinking that they would allow us to have a meeting there. And I was just trying to figure out if the COVID was not bad. I'm going to talk to them about this tomorrow night because I'm going to go to a meeting there. That's why we won't have our board meeting. To
Okay.
see if maybe people would come to Macon in April,
Okay.
and we'll just find out. And also, the board members can get a group together in their city, like, you know, and just have a little get together.
Yeah, that's what I was considering. If it's something from the as
And
representing the
travel.
Georgia Poetry Society. No, I was just wondering. If not, then that's okay. Probably if is this particular organization, I guess I should, it's 501c3
I'm sure it is.
nonprofit. So okay,
Kimberly
if
can tell you
we
that.
can talk about this later,
Right.
but that's something that I wanted to throw
Okay.
out there. Okay, thank you.
See, Jennifer read. Okay, Kit, it's your turn to read. Are you ready, Kit?
I am ready.
Okay.
Okay, and this is from my little book, Love of Nature.
Love of nature.
And it's a combination of nature poetry and nature photography.
Oh,
So,
beautiful.
my
What is the
photography.
price of that book?
Very
I
nice.
published it through Blurb, and Blurb is expensive.
What is it?
It's called Blurb, BLURB, as in boy. You can publish a book with them, but again, it's pricey. It's very well done. It's and you select the paper that you want, and you pick the background color, and you pick the font and everything. So you do it. It's a do-it-yourselfer.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, how much is that particular book, that edition?
I don't remember, and it depends on things like what their price is now versus when I first wrote it.
No. I'm asking if I bought the book today, how much would it be?
I don't know.
Oh,
Let us know
I
next
don't
time.
know. I need to go on their website and look and see. Their prices depend on how many pages you have.
okay.
Okay.
You know, the size of the book, if it's a paperback versus a hardcover,
Mm-hmm.
they have lots
And
and
what is
lots of
that?
choices.
What is that, Kit? Is it a hardback?
It's a paperback. And
Okay.
I went with the nice paper. I don't think I went with the most expensive paper. I can I'll look up, and Barbara, I'll email you with the
Okay. Because y'all that are looking at it, it looks like a lovely coffee table book.
It does.
You
It
know,
really does.
and
It's
my
maybe
book's going to
like-
be a little more expensive too, because
It's,
I'm,
I think it's maybe 8" by 8" paperback. And again, you decide what kind of paper you want to use and everything.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
I'm thinking of a children's book, highly colorful like that. I like the high gloss.
right.
yeah, I like the high gloss too.
Mhm.
I'll find that information and get it to you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right, so here's the picture. Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
goldenrod. So it's called Golden Bumbles. A breeze grazes tufts of sunlit goldenrod standing tall among meadow grass and milkweed pods. Bumblebees, hungry in the late afternoon, crawl over nectar-full flowers. Ebony legs grasp slender stalks. Black bumble bellies throb like minute heartbeats as bristly legs milk the tufts. Yellow specks cling to legs. Antennae twitch up, then down. Bodies full hang upside down, bending stalks toward the ground. Bumbles turn their heads and wash away traces of petals. A breeze brushes golden bumble heads and lifts see-through veined wings. Thunder rumbles in the distance. The end.
Mm.
I love the imagery there, how
Yes.
very detailed and specific of something that is so tiny that you if it's one of those things where you, unless you're a poet specifically bringing it out, it's a thing that the vast majority of people just miss. You know, you're either a poet or a scientist.
Thank you.
Oh, Barbara, you're muted if you were talking.
I said, oh, an artist, don't forget them. They would pick up on that like a scientist or
Mhm.
Yes,
photographer,
that is true.
poet, you know. No, that imagery was beautiful. I like something about
Mhm.
the veined wings, like I could almost see, I could see it, the imagery, I could see it. Very nice, Kit. Very nice.
Mhm. But I love the colors that you used, the imagery of it, as well as the significance of the bumblebee. How people may have overlooked the bumblebee, but you gave some qualities that only a poet could do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Enjoyed that. Okay, Sharon, you got your ear mitts on or whatever you call them. Nicole,
Yes.
are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready for you.
This is called We're Going to College from my book called School Days, Holidays, and All Days in Between. That's available everywhere,
Have you
including
got
Amazon.
Have you got
I
your
don't
book?
have it. I don't have it with me. I've been
Okay.
through a lot. My books got in the
What
storage
is it
room.
called now?
School
What is
days, school days, holidays, and all days that lie between.
And all days. And what are you going to read from that?
We're going to college.
We're going to college.
Another college book. Oh, good.
Go ahead.
We're going to college, not just to sing, dance, and to be in band. We're going to college. We're going to take a stand for higher education. We'll use our gifts in art and music. So, yes, we choose it. We're going to college. We're gaining knowledge. We're learning to read so that we'll read to learn, because out there in our global world, there's much prosperity to earn. We'll play our best instrument, our brain, and only entertain education. We'll rock the skill with our turn wheels. We'll turn our wheels with our writing implements to promote achievement. So join our band and sing and dance to understand that we're going to college. We're getting prepared, because out there in our global world, we have so much to share.
Very good. Very good, Nicole.
Thank you.
Have
Mhm.
you done a lot of performance reading?
I have.
I thought so. I could pick up on that. You did that beautifully. You had the
Mhm.
rhythm. Oh, I got goose pimples. You had the rhythm, the flow, I knew you were a performing artist. Oh, good. That was lovely.
Thank
You
Yes, it
you.
was.
I'm sorry you didn't go to our convention that we had in outside of Atlanta in Roswell. The spoken word there, the contest and the reading, and that I'm too old to memorize something that would take 3 minutes to perform. But the way that the poets would get themselves together, they would stand very quietly for a few minutes, and then they would approach the mic and take off. And you took off. You took off, Nicole.
Yes, you did.
Beautiful. Yeah, you got to keep coming back and perform for us. That was lovely. I really
Thank you.
enjoyed that. How about you, friends?
I love the band marching towards knowledge.
Mhm.
This
Thank
this
you.
was not just a band playing music, but a band marching
Mhm.
towards knowledge.
And stand for education. We're going
Yeah.
to gain knowledge when you started off with that. Yeah,
Mhm.
very, very good. How
Thank
long
you.
have you been writing? You're a young girl. How long have you been writing?
Since I've been writing since I was in upper elementary, but I've been published for 15 years.
Wonderful.
How many
So,
books have you gotten published?
I have 15 books.
congratulations.
Way to
Yeah,
go.
and
Yeah, definitely congrats.
thank
Yes,
you.
Yes.
yes, that is.
So,
Let's all give her a
yes, congratulations. So,
Thank you.
Nicole, was that particular poem, was that an imagery of you, or is it for anyone in particular, a family member? What made
Well,
you decide to engage in that?
I was working with an after school group that I created for a school that I was working at in Baton Rouge, and a lot
Uh-huh.
of them were, come from a poverty stricken neighborhood, and their parents didn't go to college, and they didn't want to necessarily necessarily go to college, and I
Right.
wrote that in order to encourage them to do so.
Right. Very good. I
very good.
saw the significance of education, and even though there was some like upbeat, solid movement, you were also educating. Very
Very
good. Very
encouraging.
good.
Thank
Very
you.
Very
encouraging.
encouraging. Inspirational.
Yes, yes. Young people need young people like you. They're tired of listening to
That's right.
old fogies like me, you know? So we need a lot of your young blood because it encourages us too, you know,
Yeah.
and I wish I could read and perform poetry, but I love it when I hear it and I recognize someone that does it, and you did that beautifully. Thank you for coming on. Please come
Thank you. Okay.
and you can go on YouTube and see a recording of this. And I need to tell you this because you didn't hear it at the beginning. Don't read on our open mic something that you plan to enter into a contest.
Okay.
Because sometimes they consider that published and then they will not let you enter that into their contest. So can we publish what you just read?
That Yeah, it's already published in a book, and I don't plan on putting it into a contest.
Okay, so
Okay.
we can keep it on YouTube because
Yes.
I'd like to play YouTube back and see you reading that again. And you can watch yourself perform by going to our YouTube in a few weeks, okay? So I
Okay.
hope you're gonna come back. Don't let this be a one-time thing.
Okay.
All righty. Let's see now. Help me get in order. Uh, before her was Kit. After Kit was Alice. Alice, you're
Yeah.
next. And then Bambi, you're next. Okay, Alice.
Okay. From my book, A Dove in the Golden Light, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, most platforms. Secrets. My Lord knows my secrets, some sweet and some bitter. It doesn't matter. I can depend on the Lord to guide and hold on to my truth. I am not judged nor compared by others. When it comes to my secret keeper, he knows and comprehends all of my issues, concerns, and problems. I cannot hide anything from thee, my skeleton bones in the closet. Thank you, Lord, for not sharing, comparing, or judging me. You hold my confidence, mysteries, and enigmas. Cultivate a secret life with Christ. He is waiting on you. The golden light, this will take place on the day when God judges people's secrets through Jesus Christ, as my gospel declares in Romans 2:16. Thank you.
Okay, and that's her book, and I have it and I enjoy it.
Thank you.
Y'all help me. Let's see. After
Alice, can,
Yes,
Bambi
I
is
just
me.
want to say I enjoyed that when you said the
thank you.
skeleton bones in the closet.
Yes,
I mean, I guess that's something only God can see because we can't see the skeleton, but God
Yes,
can see it
absolutely.
in the closet. That was just, that line just stood out to me. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Jennifer, what I had that noted too, what you said, the skeleton bones. And then she said that God is one that doesn't share and he's not comparing. He's not sharing and he's not comparing. And
Mhm.
I thought that was good too. Any other comments before I go to Bambi?
I felt like the piece had this interesting, sway between, telling the gospel to an external audience, but also almost kind of like a prayer, directly to God.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice how you slip in and out of that. At least that was my take on how it's structured.
And absolutely. The book is about a dove in the golden light, and there's poetry with inspiration, love, prayers, and wisdom. So, yes, that's exactly the goal. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for
Yeah, you're welcome.
acknowledging it. For acknowledging it.
You're welcome.
Okay.
It makes me think of a song that we used to sing at church, Jesus is the light, when you kept talking about the light. Jesus
Yeah,
is the light.
go get the book. You will
Okay.
enjoy it. You will enjoy it. I'm just saying. There
Yeah,
was, yes.
everybody, I mean, everybody that's got a book out, I think when we can, we need to support each other as much as we can. Some of us are on a budget more than others, but
Mm-hmm,
we can help each other, we will,
mm-hmm.
Ambi, are you ready now?
Yeah.
And yeah, what you said you had another one that you wanted to bring out
Well,
something.
I was thinking about what you said about things being considered published, so I'm gonna hold off on that one because I'm waiting to see
Please
if it
do.
gets published in a magazine. I have
Well,
one
give us
that I,
something else.
what's that?
Give us something else then.
Yeah, I have one that I wrote with my poetry group on Threads this week.
Okay.
So this is up on my Threads page. It's also on my Instagram under Wandering Dear Poet, if anybody wants to look at any of it. One of the people that I write with had been posting about being depressed and about having suicidal thoughts at night. So I guess I posted this one kind of in solidarity, I guess. It's called
Mm-hmm.
Gravity. I have felt the gravity of sitting on the bathroom tile, razor blade in hand, ready to kiss the night in style. The pull of not feeling, not hurting anymore. Yes, I have felt that gravity on the bathroom floor. Thankfully, I heard my baby cry. Someone needed me. Yes, me. Never give in. Never give that urge what she demands. For I have been blessed to see that babe a grown, beautiful man. Resist gravity at all cost. The end.
Wow. Kiss the
Yeah.
night while and then felt needed. That's
Mm-hmm.
saving grace sometimes. There's no
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That
Yeah.
protective, that was your protective weapon
Yeah.
in the baby's cry. subtle, sweet, but truth.
And using
Okay,
the
I
imagery of
like
Very
gravity
good.
definitely
Very
helps.
good.
It definitely lends something very powerful to it.
I like the
This thing that
personification. I'm sorry.
no, no, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I like the personification of gravity because gravity is a force that pulls us down, and she was talking about depression being gravity pulling you down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
very good. That's
Bambi, that
Very
was
good.
awesome. That was just
It
so
really was.
touching. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you. And the
Very
imagery, you
good.
could just see yourself. I could see you sitting on the side of in the bathroom, sitting on the side of the tub with the
right.
razor blade. I could see that.
Mhm.
Thank
Right.
you. That
You
was awesome.
Mhm.
And when you said kiss the night in style,
Yeah,
ooh,
you and I
ooh,
Mm.
keep picking up on the same lines together, Jennifer.
Mhm.
ooh. And
Yeah,
then you turned and you said, yes, me, that you were needed. You turned from being absorbed with maybe trying to commit suicide, and then you turned and realized someone needs me. And so
Mhm.
there's a purpose for me to be here.
right.
Thank you.
She
Love it. Thank
she
you.
went from hopeless to hopeful.
Yes, exactly.
And be
Absolutely.
Yes.
from being
Thank
self-centered
you.
on herself and her problems to then
Mhm.
the only
Yes.
person that could help that child that was crying, that gave her a purpose in life. Very
Mhm.
good, Bambi. Okay, well, I changed and I'm gonna follow Bambi's line of thought. This is called Someone Somewhere. Someone somewhere is unhappy. Their mind is not their friend. Mentally standing on a ledge, their life feel they must end. Don't they
Mhm.
understand my wondering, my imaginings, for their happiness hope? Might God's word be the exact truth? Could help their minds to cope? Help them cope, try to persevere, shut the screams of despair. Poetry write because I hope will remind folks God does care. And that's
Mhm.
somewhere written March the 4th, 2021. Okay.
Mhm. Mm.
Mm. I
Yeah.
follow Bambi. Mm. I like the way we can sometimes pick up on each other. Sharon, Nicole, are you having fun singing how we're having fun?
Yes. And I like that piece because you said in the verse, I think about the verse about casting your cares on Jesus because he cares for
Mhm.
us. Be
Mhm.
not, I think it says, be not anxious for anything, cast your cares upon
Right,
Jesus.
Yes.
right. Well,
Very good.
if I have time for the next one, I don't think I will. I do have scriptures in it at the end, and it won sixth place if I have time to go around. Let's see, we're back up, I believe, to Bryant, then Jennifer, then Alice, and then Kit. Okay,
Barbara?
yes. Have you read yet?
No, but I'm gonna have to go
Okay,
tonight, but I really enjoyed this as usual. It was nice meeting you, Jennifer, and Nicole, Alice, and Bambi. Always great to see
Yes.
you both, and
You
Brian.
you as well.
So
Great
look
meeting
forward
you
to
too.
seeing you next month.
okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Kit,
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I wanted to call you and couldn't get your number.
But let me give you my number, okay?
Okay, and I'll tell him to block it out on YouTube. Marion, block out Kit's number when you get to this
Oh,
point.
good point. Okay. Well, why don't I just email you?
Okay,
I'll
okay,
email
do
you too.
that.
Mhm.
Okay. All righty. Night, everybody.
Night.
Seeing
Good
you.
Good
night.
night. Good night.
Yeah,
Bye-bye. We
Barb,
Good
love
night.
you. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
And Barbara, can we get your email so we can get everyone else's email so we can stay in touch? Is there a way we could do that?
Yes,
Would
I'll
you
get,
would you like for me to place that in the chat?
Okay.
you have mine, don't you, Alice?
Yes. Yes.
See, I don't know how to do this chat stuff.
I'll place it in the chat.
Okay, as if everybody could give if you know how to do the chat, or you can give it to Alice, give me your telephone number and your email. I'm older, so I like to give you a
Mhm.
5-minute call instead of a 15-minute trying to kick it out with my fingers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to sign off too in just a second. So,
So glad you were here tonight, and she has to change her meeting arrangements to be able to be with us, and I appreciate you swapping out your meeting so you can be here, Bambi. I always like your poetry, and keep working on that book.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
thank you very much.
y'all have a good
Yeah.
night.
You
Tell
Good
too.
night.
Tell your mama hello for us.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
good night, sweetie. Okay. Let's see.
Uh,
Okay, Brian, is it your turn? Y'all have to keep up with your, I need to
Yep.
give y'all, assign y'all a number, and then y'all know, raise your hand when you're supposed to read. Listen, I'm too old to play school teacher and know who's sitting in which desk, okay?
Yep, it is my turn.
Okay,
So we're gonna again. I'm gonna read one more piece. This is like the third poem in the five futures for an Anthropocene house. It's,
and what's in, wait, excuse me.
Mhm.
The 5 what now?
well, the name of the overall piece is Five Futures for an Anthropocene House. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, very, very. Okay, Nicole, you're in for a treat, okay? We're ready, Brian.
Okay. This one's called The Stay a Whiles. This is part 3. Here at this Super Dip and Dine charging station, some patrons have a habit of staying longer than they have to, longer than the company algorithms need them to. We call them the stay-a-whiles. Not because of the gambling machines, the self-cleaning vape pipes, or the free virtual reality games sucking away attention. That's just the cost for charging your vehicle at the Super Dip and Dine. And not because of the Super Dip proteins manufactured on the premises, in all its flavors and textures, shaped to your tastes, which we give you, unbeknownst to you. Best we can figure, this location, divined from marketing analytics, was once a rundown house, where children slipped and slid in the backyard, where the front yard smoker could be smelled a mile down the road, where guitar and sticks on a gallon bucket set heads to nodding, feet to tapping. This house, long abandoned, was designated an attractor, and thus deemed righteous in the eyes of the market, and thus leveled to make way for the Super Dip and Dine. The sole employee runs the place like a puppet, driven by a master hidden in a faraway moment. He's got a smile on every day, just like the stay-a-whiles, who nod their heads in time with him, long after their vehicles are charged, their bellies full, their attention sated, as if they've all fallen into the same groove on some record not recorded in our inventory. The end.
The end. Okay, stay a while, the sip and dine, and you talked about the super sip and dine. You talked about the protein drink in many flavors, and they stayed a while because for many reasons. It had been a rundown house. And then you said it was righteous, so they were going to level it.
Well, this is told from the point of view of the people who own the charging station.
Right.
It's not told from the point of view of the employee or the customers. It's told from the point of view. Think of them as like the shareholders or the company managers.
Right.
And they're basically trying to figure out why these people are loitering longer than they're supposed to be loitering.
Right. But they have a connection to it.
Yeah. And it's
Connection.
it's in a way, it's almost like the house that was torn down is kind of haunting this station. And just kind of like the memories of the people who would stay a while and play in the backyard or
Right.
come by and have some barbecue.
Right.
those memories are what holds. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, I feel like
That's
I'm
the
hoping I'm
glue.
getting that across, but that's,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the glue, those memories and everything. It's the glue that holds them there that they don't want to leave. They would let their cars keep charging so they could stay longer. And they do even after they're charged because they don't want to leave. No, you got that emotion across very, very well.
I see it as a fight between nostalgia and the future.
Mhm.
that's exactly right.
Mhm.
Even though you may not have, you came in kind of late to this, but these these poems that I've been reading tonight, like I said, they're part of basically a collection of science fiction poems.
Mhm.
And each one of these poems is basically a possible future of a single house that's already kind of been condemned.
Right.
And it kind of goes through, okay, well, what else could happen to this house further down the era of climate change? So instead
Right.
of having a gas station, it's a charging station.
Hmm.
I mean,
That's
I was kind of
neat.
inspired by Bucky's, which
Okay,
the
Bucky's.
yeah, I,
I
I
don't know that.
okay, it's basically this huge gas station. It's more like a tourist
Oh,
attraction because it's so big, and it
right.
has like, basically you know a,
Everything you
a
need.
bunch of cooking. Yeah, it's got everything you need. It's got people cooking, and they make really, really good pulled pork sandwiches.
There you go with the food again tonight.
Mhm.
So I basically was trying to be kind of sarcastic with this super
Okay.
dip and dine, where
Yeah,
they basically make everything on the
spot.
basically on the spot.
We can
Hmm.
picture that very, very clearly. You do such a good job of that, Bryant. You really
He
do.
does. Yes, he does.
Yes, you do.
Okay,
But I was intrigued with the puppet and the master. I was still trying to figure that part out in my head.
I
You
did
Well,
got me on that line.
it's basically like the employee is
the puppet.
like he's almost not there either because
Right.
he's
Mhm.
been there longer. So he's basically had this kind of, it's almost like he's soaked up these memories for far longer than anybody who's just kind of wandering in to get to get fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Let's see. We have time for one more, and because Nicole came in late, Nicole,
Right.
would you like to read one more poem before we close out? We can go over 9 o'clock. Do you
I
have
don't,
another short one you
I
can
don't
read?
know if I have a short one, but I have something that's medium.
Okay. And please come back.
Okay.
Please. Barbara,
Yes,
before we discontinue, before she began, joysings@gmail.com.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, unfortunately, guys, I have to drop off. It was wonderful. I love this meeting. And Nicole, please come back. I definitely want to hear more of your work. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You
Jennifer,
too.
Bye, Brian.
Jennifer, did you give your information to Alice so we can, and will you please come back and join us next month? Let me tell you the date for it.
Yes,
It's going to be on November the 21st.
November 21st. Okay.
And
Mhm.
that poem, that's the triangle that's white at the top and goes down to a point. I will describe what that is, and it will be on our next Facebook announcement, okay?
Okay,
So what you
okay.
can do, if you want to, only if you want to, you try to write a poem in that style. And then we'll
Mhm.
to get all of those poems and put them together as a little educational chapbook of
Okay,
different styles that we have tried to introduce to the Georgia Poetry Society Poets on Open Mic. Okay?
Okay.
Sharon, I mean, not Sharon, Nicole, I can explain more of that to you if you emailed me, okay?
Okay.
Good night.
Okay. Can we do one about love?
What is that gonna
Sure.
be? on?
Can we do one about love?
Okay, we're ready.
This one is called Love Me Tender. My love for you was never rough, and it never will be. It's always sweet and as tender as can be. My love for you is as mysterious as a cold case. It's as luxurious and ornate as a dress made of white pure lace. It is sweet to anyone's taste, but it's just for you. So love me tender too. With you, that's not all I want to do. We can take our time, relax, and unwind. I believe that everything is going to be fine. For me to get used to you and you again, we need to start as friends and gradually be lovers. I missed and love you for you're my best friend. This time, love me tender, and I'll render you tender love too, as we walk lovingly hand in hand in a life that's true. Love me tender, I love you tender, and that's what it should be on our lives, me and you.
That's lovely. That's very nice.
Ah,
Yeah,
I like that,
that is lovely.
that is sweet. I love love. I love.
and I love friends before lovers. I think that's
Yes, of
stability,
course.
that's the stability of true love is not
Yeah.
jumping into bed first, but jumping into friendship first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Yes, yes.
No, that was very, very good. Anybody else have anything? I can, okay, it's just as 9:02. This is a poem, wrote June the 7th, 2023. It got sixth place. It's based on Isaiah 9:6. The government will be on his, Christ's shoulders. It's on Matthew 5:5. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And it's based on Revelation 21:4 that mentions tears, death, pain, and etc. The former things were never in heaven, so the former things have passed away from the earth. And the poem is called And I Admit That It Is True. And I admit that it is true. Christhood believers preach God's kingdom's form of government over earth, this truth teach. God shows Christ as earth ruling king. His miracles here do. Gone from earth, all pain, death, dying. Tell everyone it's true. These facts I've never heard in church. Earth restored by God's Son. We've prayed God's will be done on earth in these last days, soon done. And I admit it is true. Good news in Bible read. In paradise, we'll welcome back our loved ones who were dead. And that's sixth place Judge M. Hawley. And so I admit it's okay. Did y'all know that the former things were things that were on earth that will be no more? Because pain, death, and dying never existed in heaven. So they're being removed from earth so it can be a restored paradise. Because the earth will be a inheritance for the meek. And that's in Psalms 37, and that's in the Beatitudes, that the meek
Yes.
will inherit the earth.
Yes.
So that's the thought that people don't think sometimes that there are two places that people get eternal life. And I don't want to go to heaven. I want to get life right here on earth and play with all the kittens and the large lions. And so I have a wonderful view of paradise. Have y'all had fun tonight?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mhm.
no, it's been a blast.
Yes, it really was.
Brian, where are you located again? I forgot from last.
I'm near Stone Mountain, Georgia.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Okay, well then you're close to Kimberly Wright, you're close to Kit. So that may be a group that later on you three and some others could meet together, or something. And I would
Mhm.
like to encourage those who could and can get together with some before the next month or something to broaden out and help us become more of a community. Well, I'm Barbara Berry Nishanian. I am the president of the Georgia Poetry Society. I live here in Macon, Georgia with my husband and my cat, Sammy, a large Maine Coon cat. And he keeps me in line. I have had a wonderful time tonight. I invite everybody back again for the third Thursday in November, and I will have posted what your homework will be. So everybody have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Wear your mask if you're scared to be out in public, and I look forward to seeing you in November. Good night, everybody.
I enjoyed
Good night.
listening to y'all.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good one.